The Yankees just issued a public ultimatum, and Cody Bellinger still hasn't answered. This isn't just a stalled negotiation. It's the front office saying out loud that they won't blink, that they won't bend, that they won't enter a bidding war. And the real problem isn't whether Bellinger accepts or not. The problem is what happens if he says no. Because then, my friend, there is no plan B. The offer's been on the table for weeks, 5 years, $160 million, opt-outs included, and still silence. The Yankees have already made it clear they won't improve it, they won't backtrack, they won't make that last-minute call like the Mets did with Bo Bichette. They've decided this is the line, and crossing that line means giving up financial control, structure, planning. But what if Bellinger actually tests the market? What if a better offer comes along? What if he simply decides New York isn't worth it? Then we have to ask who steps in, because there's nobody, no obvious replacement, no alternative move being prepared behind the scenes. Jim Bowden made it clear on the Foul Territory podcast, the Yankees are going to bet on the young guys. They'll give space to who's in the system. They'll trust internal development. Translation, they're going to hope it works out. And look, I get the logic. It makes sense from an organizational standpoint. It makes sense financially. It makes sense when you think about development culture. But does it make sense competitively? Does it make sense when you just made it to the World Series and lost? Does it make sense when Aaron Judge is in his prime and the championship window is now? Because betting on young talent looks great on paper, but on the field in April, against pitchers who make a living disrupting timing, that becomes real risk. Bellinger's not perfect, we know that. 29 home runs, 272 average, solid, reliable, but he's not transformational. He's not the kind of player who single-handedly changes a franchise's destiny. So why all this tension? Because he's predictable. Because he delivers, because he knows Yankee Stadium, because he's been to October and didn't disappear, and on a roster that needs consistency more than explosion, that's worth gold. But the Yankees decided $160 million is the ceiling, and that ceiling doesn't move. Now, if Bellinger walks away, what do? Test internal options, hope someone breaks out, cross their fingers that development timelines accelerate right when they need production. That's not a plan. That's a prayer. And here's what really bothers me. The Yankees are acting like they hold all the leverage, like Bellinger has nowhere else to go, like the market dried up and he's stuck. Maybe that's true. Maybe no one else offers more than 160 with opt-outs, but maybe someone does, and then what? Then the Yankees enter the season with a hole in the outfield, with questions instead of answers, with hope where there should be certainty. And that, my friend, is not how you build a championship team. If you follow this channel, you know we don't accept ready-made narratives. We dig deep, we question. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time to hit that button. Because what's coming for the Yankees won't be simple, and we'll be here every week breaking down every move. Back to it. What worries me isn't the front office's firm stance. I actually respect that. What worries me is the absence of a visible alternative. Because firmness without a safety net isn't strategy, it's gambling. And gambles go wrong. The Yankees are counting on Bellinger to fold, that he'll look at the market, realize there's nothing better, and come back to the table. Bowden still thinks it's likely to happen, said the team might even offer a massive signing bonus to close the deal without touching the base contract. But what if it doesn't happen? Then you've got Jason Dominguez trying to prove he's ready. You've got Everson Pereira competing for playing time. You've got young guys with talent, with potential, with tools, but without reps, without consistency tested over 162 games, without that confidence that only comes from having done it before. And I'm not saying they'll fail, I'm saying nobody knows. And on a team with Judge, Cole, and an immediate title expectation, nobody knows is a dangerous luxury. Bellinger spent 6 years with the Dodgers, won MVP, won a World Series, then had 2 inconsistent seasons with the Cubs, came to the Yankees and stabilized. He didn't go back to being that 2019 Bellinger, but he became a player you can count on. And trust in baseball is sometimes worth more than upside. The front office is playing poker. They believe they have the stronger hand, that Bellinger needs them more than they need him. And maybe they're right. Maybe the market really doesn't have room for him. Maybe nobody offers more than 160 with opt-outs. But maybe they do. And then what? Then the Yankees enter the season with a hole in the outfield, with unanswered questions, with hope where there should be certainty. And that, my friend, is not how you build a championship team. I'm not saying the Yankees should pay any price. I'm not saying they should enter an irrational bidding war. But I am saying that when you take such a firm position, you need to be prepared to live with the consequences. And the consequences here are real, because if Bellinger walks, there's no pivot, no compensatory move, no alternative signing waiting. The market's already dried up. The big names already signed. What's left is risk, project, gamble, and the Yankees have already gambled too much. So we wait. Bellinger decides. The Yankees hold their breath. And everyone hopes that firmness doesn't turn into stubbornness. Because in the end, it doesn't matter who's right. It matters who has a competitive team in April. So now tell me, do you think Bellinger comes back? Do you trust the young guys? Do you think the Yankees know what they're doing? Or are they bluffing without cards in hand? Comment below. Disagree with me? Call me crazy? But join this conversation, because this is far from over.